You might be microwaving food that's slowly harming your body. And the worst part? 3 of them are probably in your kitchen right now. Today, I'll show you 5 everyday foods that can become dangerous when microwaved, and what you should do instead to protect your energy, your digestion, and even your brain health. I've worked with thousands of people over 40, folks who felt tired all the time, dealt with weird stomach problems, or just didn't feel like themselves anymore. We tried diets, we tried supplements, but nothing really worked. Then I noticed a strange pattern. These people were all eating fairly healthy, but they were microwaving certain healthy foods almost every day. I had to take a closer look, and what I found changed the way my own family eats, especially my 68-year-old mom, who was doing this too. What shocked me the most? Some foods that seem good for you, like veggies or rice, can actually break down into harmful compounds when microwaved. These changes can cause more inflammation, mess with your digestion, and even make you feel tired right after eating. If you've ever felt bloated, foggy, or sluggish after a quick meal, this might be why. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly which 5 foods you should stop microwaving, and the 5 simple meals you can bake instead that actually boost your energy and health. Plus, I'll share a 3-minute trick that helps your body absorb more nutrients from any meal, no matter your age. Let's dive in. Most people think microwaving is just a fast way to heat food, but what really happens inside that machine might surprise you. When the microwave turns on, it doesn't just warm your food, it actually changes it. It changes the structure of certain nutrients. And with some foods, those changes can create tiny harmful compounds that are hard for your body to deal with. Over time, they can cause inflammation, mess with digestion, and leave you feeling tired after eating, even if the food seemed healthy. This isn't just science talk. I used to ignore this too. I thought, I eat clean, I exercise, what's the big deal? But then, like a lot of people over 40, I started noticing small changes. After eating, I felt heavy. My energy dropped fast. My stomach acted up, even after simple meals. I blamed age, stress, busy life. But the truth was, I was microwaving the same few foods every week, thinking I was making smart choices. And here's the part no one talks about. After age 40, our bodies don't bounce back the same way. They react more strongly to stress, chemicals, and poor digestion. The small stuff starts to add up. Slower energy, more bloating, stiff joints, brain fog. You start to think it's just part of getting older. But it's not. These effects can be linked to how we're preparing our food. That's why this matters. The foods we microwave may seem harmless, but they're quietly affecting how we feel every day. The good news is, once you know which foods to avoid and what to do instead, everything changes. Your energy, your digestion, even your mood. Foods to never microwave. Food number 1, leafy greens. The first food you should never microwave is leafy greens like spinach, kale, arugula, and even Swiss chard. Now, this might sound surprising because these are some of the healthiest foods you can eat. They're packed with nutrients like folate, magnesium, iron, and antioxidants that support your energy, your heart, and even your brain. But here's the catch. When you microwave leafy greens, especially when they've already been cooked once or stored in the fridge, they don't stay the same. Microwaving causes the natural folate in these greens, which is critical for energy production and brain function, to break down. That means your body doesn't get what it needs, even if you think you're eating something healthy. But that's not all. When leafy greens are exposed to high microwave heat, they can also form something called nitrosamines. These are compounds that show up when nitrates, which naturally occur in these vegetables, react with heat and acids. Now, why does that matter? Nitrosamines have been linked to inflammation and other health problems when consumed regularly in high amounts. For people over 40, this is especially important. Our digestive systems aren't as fast or efficient as they used to be. We absorb less, we process slower, and our tolerance for stress, even tiny chemical stressors, is lower. So when you microwave a bowl of leftover spinach, thinking it's a healthy meal, you might actually be doing your body more harm than good. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's 52, active, and eats clean. She came to me because she kept hitting a wall around 3 p.m. every day. Tired, brain fog, sometimes even headaches. We looked at her meals, and guess what? Every day at lunch, she microwaved a spinach and quinoa bowl. Healthy ingredients, right? But once she stopped microwaving the spinach and started baking or lightly sautéing it instead, her energy returned. No other changes, just that one. Within a week, she felt completely different. Now, I'm not saying never eat leafy greens. Please do. They're powerful. Just change how you prepare them. Bake them into dishes, sauté them in olive oil, or eat them raw in salads. If you cook them, do it fresh, not in the microwave after they've been sitting around in the fridge. The small change makes a big difference. Your body will absorb more nutrients, avoid harmful compounds, and respond better overall. That's what we want. Not just to eat healthy food, but to actually get the benefits from it. So if you've been microwaving your greens, now you know. Swap the method, and your body will thank you. Let's move to the next food. And trust me, this one is even more common in most homes. Food number 2, processed meats. The second food you should never microwave is processed meat. Things like hot dogs, sausages, deli slices, bacon, and frozen meat patties. These are foods many people rely on for a quick meal, especially when you're busy or tired. You pop them in the microwave, press a button, and your food is ready in minutes. It feels convenient. But what's happening inside the microwave is not as harmless as it seems. When processed meats are microwaved, they can form cholesterol oxidation products. These compounds are created when the cholesterol in the meat breaks down due to the intense microwave heat. And that's a problem, because oxidized cholesterol is much more harmful than regular cholesterol. It has been linked to inflammation in the body, clogged arteries, and even higher risk of heart disease. And there's more. Processed meats already contain nitrates and nitrites, which are used to preserve the color and extend shelf life. But when you microwave these meats, especially at high temperatures, those nitrates can turn into nitrosamines, the same harmful compounds I mentioned with leafy greens, but in much higher amounts. These are known to be potentially toxic and are even considered carcinogenic in large amounts over time. Now, imagine doing this several times a week or even daily. You might not feel the effects right away, but your body is taking the hit. For adults over 40, this is especially risky because the body's ability to detox and repair damage naturally slows down. Over time, this can lead to fatigue, joint pain, poor digestion, and long-term health problems that seem to come out of nowhere. Let me tell you about Robert. He's 45 and used to eat microwave deli sandwiches almost every day at work. They were fast, cheap, and easy. But over time, he noticed something strange. His knees hurt more after walking. His hands were stiff in the morning. He blamed aging. But when we looked at his diet and took out the microwaved processed meats, replacing them with simple baked chicken or tuna, the pain started to go away within weeks. That wasn't a coincidence. His body was reacting to those toxic compounds created during microwaving. Microwaving also tends to unevenly heat processed meats. This means parts of the meat can remain undercooked while other parts become overheated, increasing the risk of bacteria like Listeria or Salmonella, especially in sausages and hot dogs. That's a hidden danger most people don't think about when rushing a meal. So what's the better way? If you're going to eat processed meat, and let's be honest, we all do sometimes, cook it on a skillet or bake it in the oven. You'll avoid those harmful compounds and lower your risk of inflammation and illness. It's a small shift that pays off fast. Now, let's move on to the third food, and this one might surprise you because it's something nearly every household eats every single week. Food number 3, rice. The third food you should never microwave is rice. Now, this might surprise you because rice is one of the most common foods in kitchens all over the world. Whether it's white rice, brown rice, or even leftover fried rice, most people cook a big batch, store it in the fridge, and reheat it later in the microwave. It feels like a smart way to save time. But here's what you need to know. Reheating rice in the microwave can quietly put your health at risk. When rice cools down after it's been cooked, a type of bacteria called Bacillus cereus can start to grow. This bacteria doesn't always go away just because you reheat the rice. The problem is that the microwave often heats food unevenly, and rice is especially bad at heating evenly because of its shape and density. Some parts get very hot, while others stay cooler, and those cooler parts? That's where the bacteria can survive. Eating that rice can lead to food poisoning, nausea, cramps, or diarrhea, sometimes within just a few hours. Now here's where it gets even more serious. As rice sits in the fridge or on the counter after being cooked, it can also develop spores that are heat resistant. Even if you microwave your rice until it's steaming, those spores might not be killed. That's why people sometimes feel sick, even after reheating leftovers the right way. It's not about how hot it gets, it's about how unevenly that heat is applied. There's another issue most people don't know. Rice, especially when grown in certain areas, can naturally absorb arsenic from the soil and water. This happens during the growing process, and while small amounts are allowed in food, reheating rice improperly may increase arsenic concentration. How? When rice is stored and reheated multiple times, the moisture content changes, and this can affect how much arsenic remains available in each serving. It doesn't mean one bowl will hurt you, but over time, this exposure can build up, especially if rice is a regular part of your meals. Now, let me tell you about Amanda. She's 51, and rice was her go-to side dish. She'd cook a big pot on Sunday and microwave it all week. But she kept getting random stomach aches and bloating, even when everything else in her diet seemed healthy. After we talked, she switched to storing her rice in small single portions and reheated it on the stove instead of the microwave. Within 2 weeks, the stomach issues were gone. So what's the safe way to reheat rice? Either steam it on the stove or warm it slowly in a pan with a little water. This helps heat it more evenly and reduces the risk of harmful bacteria. If you're in a rush, just make smaller amounts more often and eat them fresh. Your body will thank you for it. Now, the next food is one that grandparents really need to know about, especially if you ever help with feeding babies. Food number 4. Breast milk or formula. The fourth food you should never microwave is breast milk or baby formula. This is especially important if you are a grandparent or caregiver helping with feeding a baby. Many people think microwaving is the fastest and easiest way to warm up milk or formula for a baby. But it can actually be very dangerous and can harm the baby in several ways. First, microwaving breast milk or formula creates hot spots. This means that some parts of the milk get very hot while other parts stay cool. Because the heating is uneven, a baby's mouth or throat can get burned even if the bottle feels okay when you shake it or test it. These burns are painful and can cause real problems for tiny, sensitive mouths. Second, breast milk contains important proteins, enzymes, and antibodies that protect the baby's immune system and help with digestion. When you microwave breast milk, many of these important nutrients get destroyed. The heat from the microwave changes their structure and reduces their effectiveness. This means the milk no longer provides the full immune benefits it's supposed to. Formula is designed to be a safe substitute for breast milk, but it's made from ingredients that also break down when microwaved. The nutrients can be damaged, and the formula can lose some of its nutritional value. Plus, when formula gets overheated, it can taste bad, which some babies might refuse to drink. The safest way to warm breast milk or formula is to place the bottle in warm water for a few minutes or use a specially designed bottle warmer. These methods heat the milk gently and evenly, keeping the nutrients safe and avoiding hot spots. Let me share a story about Linda, a grandmother who loved caring for her granddaughter. She used to microwave the formula because it was quick. One day the baby cried suddenly after feeding, and Linda discovered she had burned the baby's mouth. It was heartbreaking and scary for both of them. After learning about the dangers, Linda switched to warming bottles in warm water. Now, feeding time is safe and calm, and the baby loves her meals. If you help feed a baby in your family, this information is so important. Microwaving may seem like a small convenience, but when it comes to breast milk and formula, it's just not safe. Protecting the little ones we love means taking the extra minute to warm their milk properly. The next food on the list is one many adults enjoy every day, and it plays a big role in brain health after 40. Let's talk about that now. Food number 5, oils and fatty foods. The fifth food you should never microwave is oils and fatty foods. This might sound surprising because fats are a big part of what keeps our bodies healthy, especially as we get older. But microwaving oils and fatty foods can actually cause serious problems that most people don't know about. When you microwave oils or foods high in healthy fats, like avocados, nuts, fish, or even certain salad dressings, the heat can cause the fats to break down and turn into harmful compounds called oxidized fats or free radicals. These compounds are bad for your body because they can increase inflammation, damage your cells, and even affect your brain health over time. Healthy fats, especially omega-3 fatty acids, are crucial for keeping your brain sharp and your heart strong. These fats help reduce inflammation, support memory, and protect your cells from damage. But when you microwave fatty foods, the omega-3s break down quickly. That means you lose those important benefits, and instead, your body might be getting exposed to harmful chemicals. Let me give you an example. Margaret is 59, and she loved microwaving leftover salmon because it was fast and easy. But after changing how she warmed her food and baking her salmon instead, she noticed her memory felt clearer and her thinking sharper. She told me it was like a fog lifted and she felt more focused during the day. This happens because baking or cooking fatty foods gently preserves their nutrients and keeps the good fats intact. Microwaving, on the other hand, uses quick, high heat that causes fats to oxidize and lose their power. Not only omega-3s, but other fats like olive oil, butter, and avocado oil also lose their health benefits when microwaved. For example, olive oil is famous for its heart-healthy properties, but if you microwave it, the oil can change chemically and lose its protective qualities. So, what's the best way to handle oils and fatty foods? Avoid microwaving them. Instead, bake, roast, or cook these foods slowly and evenly. This keeps the fats stable and healthy. When you bake salmon or roast vegetables with olive oil, you protect the good fats and get the best taste and nutrition. Remember, after age 40, your body needs these healthy fats more than ever. Protecting them means better brain function, less inflammation, and stronger heart health. If you want to keep your body and brain healthy, start by baking fatty foods instead of microwaving them. It's a small change that can make a big difference in how you feel every day. Now that you know the 5 foods you should never microwave, let's talk about the 5 foods you should bake to get the most nutrition and energy from your meals. 5 foods to bake instead. Bake food. Number 1. Sweet potatoes. Now let's talk about the first food you should bake instead of microwaving. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are a fantastic source of vitamins, minerals, and fiber, and baking them actually makes them even healthier. When you bake a sweet potato, the heat concentrates its natural antioxidants. These antioxidants help protect your body from damage caused by free radicals. Baking also brings out the natural sweetness of the potato, making it taste better without adding any sugar or salt. Many people try to microwave sweet potatoes because it feels faster, but microwaving doesn't have the same effect. It can actually reduce some of the important nutrients. Plus, the texture can end up uneven, sometimes mushy, or dry in spots. Baking sweet potatoes is really simple and only takes about 25 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Just wash them, prick them a few times with a fork, and place them on a baking sheet. You don't even need to peel them. The skin is full of nutrients and fiber. Tom, who is 63, started baking sweet potatoes instead of microwaving them after his doctor suggested eating more natural foods to help with his weight. In 3 months, he lost 12 pounds and felt more energetic every day. He told me that baking sweet potatoes became an easy, tasty way to improve his health without changing much else. You can eat baked sweet potatoes on their own or add toppings like a little olive oil, cinnamon, or a small amount of butter for flavor. They're great as a side dish or even a main part of your meal. So if you want to get more nutrition and enjoy better taste, swap out microwaving for baking your sweet potatoes. It's a simple change that will help you feel better and more energized. Next, we'll look at another food that benefits greatly from baking, salmon fillets, and why baking is the best way to keep their healthy fats intact. Bake food. Number 2. Salmon fillets. The next food you should bake instead of microwaving is salmon fillets. Salmon is one of the healthiest foods you can eat, especially because it's packed with omega-3 fatty acids. These fats are great for your brain, heart, and overall health. Microwaving salmon might seem quick and easy, but it can damage those important omega-3s. The high heat and uneven cooking in a microwave cause the fats to break down, which means you lose the very benefits you're trying to get. Baking salmon is different. When you bake it, the heat is gentle and even. This helps keep the omega-3 fats safe so your body can use them to stay healthy. Plus, baking gives salmon a delicious flaky texture and brings out its natural flavors. The best way to bake salmon is simple. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Place the salmon fillets on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. You can season with just a little salt, pepper, and maybe some lemon slices or fresh herbs like dill. Bake for about 18 minutes or until the salmon flakes easily with a fork. Here's a helpful tip to avoid overcooking. Use a thermometer if you can. The salmon is perfectly cooked when it reaches 145 degrees Fahrenheit inside. Margaret, who is 59, switched to baking her salmon instead of microwaving it after learning about the damage microwaving does to healthy fats. She said her memory and energy improved noticeably, and she enjoyed her meals much more. So remember, baking salmon protects its healthy fats, improves taste, and helps your body get the most from every bite. Try this simple baking method next time you want salmon, and you'll feel the difference. Coming up next is a food many people bake that helps control ingredients and improve nutrition: whole grain bread. Bake food. Number 3. Whole grain bread. Now let's talk about whole grain bread, the third food you should bake instead of microwaving or buying pre-made. Whole grain bread is packed with fiber, vitamins, and minerals that help your digestion and keep you full longer. When you bake your own whole grain bread, you control exactly what goes into it. Many store-bought breads have added sugars, preservatives, and unhealthy oils. Baking your own means no hidden ingredients, just simple, healthy stuff that your body loves. Making whole grain bread may sound hard, but it only takes about 3 hours total and just 10 minutes of active work. You mix the ingredients, let the dough rise, shape it, and then bake. The smell of fresh bread coming from your oven is amazing, and the taste is so much better than store bread. Baking your own bread also helps with nutrient absorption. Freshly baked bread keeps the grains and seeds in their best form, which means your body can get more vitamins and minerals from every slice. Plus, it's often easier to digest because it's free from additives. Many people tell me they feel more energetic and satisfied after switching to homemade whole grain bread. It's also cheaper over time because you're not buying expensive packaged bread. If you want to try, start simple with a basic recipe using whole wheat flour, water, yeast, and a little salt. You can add seeds or nuts later once you're comfortable. Making whole grain bread is a great way to take control of your health and enjoy fresh, delicious food every day. Up next is a protein-packed food that bakes wonderfully and helps your joints: chicken thighs. Bake food. Number 4. Chicken thighs. Next on the list is chicken thighs. Chicken thighs are a great source of protein, which your body needs more than ever after age 40. Protein helps keep your muscles strong and supports joint health, which is important as we get older. Microwaving chicken thighs can make them dry and unevenly cooked. It also can reduce the quality of the protein, making it harder for your body to absorb all the benefits. Baking chicken thighs, on the other hand, keeps them juicy and tender while preserving the protein quality. Baking chicken thighs is easy and perfect for meal prep. You can bake a batch at once and use leftovers for several meals. This saves you time during busy weeks and helps you eat healthy without stress. To bake chicken thighs, preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Place the thighs on a baking tray lined with foil or parchment paper. You can season with salt, pepper, garlic powder, and herbs like rosemary or thyme. Bake for about 35 to 40 minutes until the skin is crispy and the inside is fully cooked. Baking at this temperature helps keep the skin crispy while locking in moisture. This way, your chicken thighs stay flavorful and satisfying. Many people notice improvements in their joint comfort and energy levels after regularly including baked chicken thighs in their diet. That's because high-quality protein supports muscle repair and reduces inflammation. So, baking chicken thighs is a simple change that can make a big difference for your health after 40. Coming up next is a delicious mix of vegetables you should bake together for a nutrient boost: roasted vegetables. Bake food number 5. Roasted vegetables. Finally, let's talk about roasted vegetables. Roasting vegetables is one of the best ways to bring out their natural flavors while boosting their nutrition. When you roast vegetables, the heat caramelizes their natural sugars, making them taste sweeter and more delicious. Roasted vegetables also create what experts call nutrient synergy. This means that when you roast a mix of vegetables together, their vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants work better in your body. The combination becomes more powerful than eating each vegetable alone. Roasting helps increase antioxidant levels, which protect your cells from damage and support your immune system. It also improves mineral absorption, so your body gets more from every bite. To make roasted vegetables, pick a mix of your favorites like carrots, bell peppers, broccoli, zucchini, and onions. Cut them into even pieces so they cook evenly. Toss them with a little olive oil, salt, and your favorite herbs like thyme or rosemary. Spread them out on a baking sheet and roast in the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 to 30 minutes. The high heat helps the vegetables caramelize and develop a rich, satisfying flavor. Roasted vegetables are great as a side dish or mixed into salads, grains, or pasta. Many people find that adding roasted vegetables to their meals helps improve digestion and gives them more energy. They also say the taste keeps them coming back for more, making healthy eating easier and more enjoyable. So, roasting vegetables is a simple way to boost both flavor and nutrition in your diet after 40. Now you know 5 foods to bake instead of microwaving. These small changes can make a big difference in your health and how you feel every day. Now, here is the bonus information I promised that will change everything for you. It's a simple 3-minute method that works for any food you want to switch from microwaving to baking. First, always preheat your oven properly. This step makes sure your food cooks evenly and keeps more nutrients intact. When the oven is fully hot before you put the food in, it cooks faster and better. Next, arrange your food in a single layer on the baking tray. This helps heat reach every part evenly. Crowding the tray can cause some pieces to cook too much while others stay undercooked. Finally, try this time-saving trick. Prepare your food while the oven preheats. For example, chop your vegetables or season your chicken before the oven reaches the right temperature. This way, you won't lose time once the oven is ready. By following these 3 simple steps, you protect the food's nutrients and improve taste without spending more time in the kitchen. It's a small change that leads to better energy, digestion, and overall health. Try this method tonight and see how much better your meals taste and how much more energized you feel after eating. This is the secret that makes baking so much better than microwaving. Imagine waking up tomorrow feeling more energized and ready to take on the day. Picture your digestion working smoothly, no more discomfort after meals, and the confidence that every bite you take is truly nourishing your body. You now have the power to make simple changes that improve how you feel every day. You deserve to enjoy food that helps your body, not works against it. This isn't about big sacrifices or strict diets. It's about smart choices that fit easily into your life. People just like you are already seeing amazing results. Maria, who is 67, told me her afternoon energy has returned to what it was 10 years ago. David, only 44, noticed his joint pain lessened in just 2 weeks after making these changes. These stories show that it's possible to feel better no matter your age. The best part is that this is not complicated. You don't have to add more work to your day. You're simply changing how you prepare foods you already eat. The benefits build up day by day, and soon you'll wonder why you didn't start sooner. This is your chance to feel stronger, healthier, and more vibrant. It's easier than you think, and it all starts with the choices you make today. Now, here is what I want you to do right now. Go to your kitchen and pick just one food from the Never Microwave list that you will bake instead this week. Choose just one to start with. This small change can make a big difference. Don't worry about doing everything at once. Just focus on one food, bake it, and see how it feels. Taking this first step is powerful. It shows you can make better choices without making life harder. After you try this, come back and tell me in the comments which food you picked and how it went. I read every single comment and love hearing your stories. Sometimes I share the best success stories to inspire others too. If this video helped you, please share it with someone you care about. Together, we can build a community of people who refuse to accept feeling less than their best just because of age. Remember, your next meal is a chance to feel better and stronger. We're all in this together. I'll keep sharing simple, helpful tips that make a big difference. So start today with one food and watch how your health improves step by step.